If you're a singer who's stuck on the mixed voice loop of funny sounds, funny exercises, and they're not translating into real songs, right? You're doing monkey sounds, you're doing funny exercises sounds, and it's not translating into "You threw me out, 'cause I went digging for gold. And I came on with a hand full of gold." Right? It's not translating into real singing. This video is gonna blow your mind. Before we do that, hello, Keegan from Foundation Vocal Method here. For the past 15 years, I've helped hundreds of singers just like you all around the world hit bigger, better, stronger, higher notes than they ever imagined possible, using the process I'm about to share with you so that they can go out there and sing 57 dates on a tour without fear of losing their voice, confident that every single high note is going to be there. So they can sing 14 shows in a row, each one better than the last, night after night. And so they can sing F2 to A5. I mean, that's a serious amount of range, right? Now, there's a glaring omission, or at least a misunderstanding, in most of the mixed voice tutorials that you've watched out there. There's billions of the damn things, right? And that is that your vowels are tuned to certain notes. If you carefully watch one of the instructors that's telling you, okay, this sound gives you mixed voice, it most likely does give the mixed voice. They're telling you the truth. But the reason that sound gives the mixed voice is because that sound encourages a change in the vocal tract, which encourages the right frequency matching between the pitch and the vowel. They're most likely not aware of it. It just helps them do mixed voice. They sing really great. Hey, look, it's really easy. You do the funny monkey sound, right? Now, if you let's take any vowel. Let's take my favorite vowel, an A vowel, right? If I take an A and I sing a pitch above that pure sound, right? I get falsetto, right? Pitch is here, vowel's here. If I sing underneath that vowel, you get that traditional definition of chest voice. Now, if I match my pitch to my vowel, and then as I ascend, I start choosing more appropriate vowels. I mean, that's what you just saw me doing with the Chris Cornell song, right? You quite literally have limitless range. So when you're doing your mixed voice exercises, when you're doing those scales, whatever it is that you're doing, you can actually basically throw them out the window and define the vowel sounds that you're singing, right? So for example, you threw me out 'cause I went digging for gold. Right? So for example, when I'm singing dig, I'm obviously not singing dig. I mean, you could probably get away with that, but that's not going to be a good vowel for that. It's not how Chris Cornell sings it, right? But if I'm going to go for an A vowel, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to try and keep that disparate relationship between the vowel and the pitch. And I'm going to yell. That's how I used to do all this stuff. Just push, yell, shout. I mean, conventional wisdom would have you say, if you've got a voice like mine, you can't sing high stuff, right? That's the way that I used to do it, and I was convinced for years, voice is too low. Can't hit this shit. Have to sing everything an octave down, right? Or 2 octaves down. Goth rock version of Creedence or Soundgarden, right? If we change that vowel, A into deg, like a deck, like a wooden deck, right? Digging for gold, digging for gold, and it came on with a hand. I'm doing the same thing with hand. I'm not actually singing hand. I'm singing an A vowel again. But if I sing that as an A, hand, I get falsetto. It confirms for me that my voice is simply too low to sing this stuff, right? So we need to pick a more appropriate structured vowel, or the structure of a more appropriate vowel, to hit those sounds. So for example, hand, A, E. Came on with a hand. I'm actually singing an I within that vowel. Now, I'm good at this, right? I'm going to go right out there and say that I'm really, really good at this. I've been doing this for over 20 years. It's something that I do professionally. It's something that I've worked really hard for you not to hear, but it's definitely happening. And this is the thing that you're not seeing in mixed voice training videos. The relationship between the pitch and your vowel is actually what mixed voice really is. Below the vowel is chest, above the vowel is head or falsetto, and getting that complementary relationship between your vowel and your pitch, like I was doing in the demonstrations there, That's your mixed voice. If you're just practicing monkey sounds, expecting to get better and expecting that to translate into, Chris Cornell or Alice in Chains or Metallica songs, man, you're going to be here in another 5 years. You're going to stumble across this video and you're going to kick yourself. All right. So how did I go from singing everything 2 octaves down, an octave down, to actually getting my vowel sounds right? What did I practice? What exercise did I practice? That's a really common question I get from people. What exercise did you do that gave you this range? I didn't actually do an exercise or any exercise in particular to find this range. Yeah, I've worked on things. Yeah, I've practiced on stuff. The first thing I did is define my vowel sounds. What vowel am I singing and how the fuck am I supposed to be singing it? Right? Forget the monkey sounds, forget the exercises. Ask yourself what vowel you're trying to sing. And I reckon 2 things is going to happen. If you take Call Me a Dog, take any song that you want to sing, right? 2 things is going to happen. Number 1, you're not going to have any fucking idea what vowel you're singing. That's okay. That's totally okay because you just discovered why you can't make mixed voice work for you. You have no idea what vowel you're singing, right? Of course it's not fucking working. Number 2, there's going to be some accent things. There's going to be some, I guess, idiosyncratic things to your voice, your accent, where you choose certain sounds. You're like, well, it's obviously this vowel. You sing it and it goes wrong, right? There is a defined framework for this, and there is sounds that work. I mean, who would think that I would use an A vowel for a word like, hand, right? You think it would be an A type sound, right? In this case, that's the vowel that was chosen. It was the most appropriate choice for the style that Chris Cornell was going for, most appropriate choice for me to kind of do that with my voice, right? There's a defined way to do this. Define your vowels, work out an appropriate range or register vowel structure that we can then sing towards, and you will have more range than you are going to know what to do with, right? This is, don't just take my word for it. It's exactly what's happened to my students. People that have been singing for 40 years, just like, holy shit, mind blown. I can sing higher stuff, within minutes of doing this. I learned more in 5 minutes of this than I learned in, years of taking singing lessons, right? So what I usually do at the end of these videos is direct people to my vocal blueprint, which is basically all of this boiled down to a very simple bite-sized chunk. Instead of doing that in this video, actually the last video that I did, I directed you guys to a practice cheat sheet and a practice warm-up, and there's a video in there. If you've been on the YouTube loop long enough and the mixed voice loop long enough, I figure you're ready to get the fuck out of Dodge and actually start singing better. So I've got 2 ways for you to move forward with your singing. It's funny, I did my first YouTube video in 2012. It's been a long time. I don't think I've ever done this. I have vocal programs. I've put together a vocal program called Shock Horror, the Foundation Vocal Method, right? I've got a bunch of courses for every single issue that could ever be plaguing you as a singer. This is what my students are going through and using this to get out on tour, with my help, of course. I've put together a very streamlined vowels course called Vowel Modification 101. It does exactly what it says on the box. This is the course that I wish I had learned the whole vowels thing from 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It would have saved me a decade, more than a decade of just fucking heartache and thousands of dollars wasted on lessons and banging my head against the wall and ruined shows and ruined opportunities and all that stuff, right? If I'd have learned from this course from day one, you would be talking to a very different person and probably talking to a very different singer, right? I've put together a special deal for you. You can hit that link below and join me for Vowel Modification 101. It's funny, in nearly 15 years of doing YouTube videos and putting myself out there and having vocal programs, all that kind of stuff, I don't think I've ever said in a video that I offer one-on-one vocal training. So I offer one-on-one vocal training. There's a link down below where you can fill out a form to get in touch with me, and I will let you know the details of working with me on a one-to-one basis. There's a little voice in the back of my head. Every time someone comes to me and says mixed voice, the little voice in the back of my head says dead voice. Mixed voice, dead voice. Because that's what happens when you get stuck on that loop on YouTube of doing funny sounds, and this guy's funny sounds, and that guy's funny sounds, and never making that connection between the frequency of your vowel and how this relates to the frequency of the pitch. If you can work out this vowel thing, you'll have the mixed voice thing down in pretty much a matter of minutes. You got to practice it. You have to take some time with it, but you are going to see immediate results from this if you can work out this whole vowels thing. So hit the link down below to join me either for Vowel Modification 101, or you can hit me up about one-on-one training. My name is Keegan, Foundation Vocal Method. Subscribe button. I don't think there's anything else. We'll talk soon.